most significant news stories from the past 7 days. Stay tuned. Minister of Housing, Land and Urban Development Dr. Ali Haider Ahmed underscores the government's efforts of completing the housing developmental project in Diddu Halif Atoll by February 2025. The project of developing 75 housing units in Diddu commenced on November 2022. Under the developmental initiative, 75 row houses of 700 square feet will be built. Each unit will feature 3 rooms, 3 toilets, a living room, a kitchen, a dining room, a laundry room and a storeroom. Providing details on the project, the Ministry of Housing, Land and Urban Development disclosed that 73% of the project was completed, with the finishing touches ongoing. Despite the ministry's plans to complete the project and hand over the units to the respective individuals by the end of 2023, efforts are now underway to complete the project. The ministry explained that the project was delayed due to the lack of secure funds, noting that the issue was resolved now and the project is now scheduled for completion by February 20. The developmental project worth $7.7 million is contracted to SJ Construction Private Limited. Diddu Island Council is in the process of selecting applicants for the housing units. This development aims to address the island's housing crisis amid a growing population. In 2008, a land reclamation project added 250 housing units in Diddu, and the government has also decided to conduct additional housing projects on the island as well. The Maldives Monetary Authority MMA announces an increase in the nation's usable reserves, which now stand at $61 billion. This growth reflects the government's ongoing efforts to improve the state's financial standing. According to MMA statistics, the official reserves saw a 36% increase in August compared to July. The reserves, which were $45 million in July, rose to $61.22 million by the end of August. MMA also highlighted continuous growth in government reserves over the past 7 months. At the end of July, total reserves amounted to $395 million, increasing to $444 million by August. One significant step taken by the government to stabilize the financial situation has been the management of the Sovereign Development Fund (SDF). Previously reduced to $5 million due to custodian marking, the SDF now stands at $65 million and is maintained separately. Usable reserves were reported at $105 million at the end of the first 7 months of the year, with MMA projecting that the total usable and SDF reserves will exceed $606 million by year end. To further bolster the country's financial position, MMA is collaborating with the government on issuing a refinance green bond. Additionally, the central bank completed the technical groundwork for $400 million foreign currency swap arrangement with the Reserve Bank of India under the SARC framework, with the agreement awaiting final signatures. MMA expressed confidence that the government's medium-term fiscal and debt strategy, including spending cuts and revenue growth initiatives, will bring about positive financial improvements, with a notable recovery anticipated by November 2024. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu emphasizes that digitalization is the foundation of the Maldives' national vision. Speaking at the Summit of the Future Side event, he highlighted how digital transformation is already reshaping the country's future.
In his address, President Muizzu acknowledged the unique challenges faced by the Maldives, but stressed that innovation is driving progress. He pointed out how digitalization is being used to manage limited resources and improve public services. The focus of digitalization is not only to enhance economic prospects, but to improve the quality of life for all Maldivians, the president said. He also highlighted the importance of digital literacy in fostering creativity and innovation, particularly among the youth. The president stated that through the Digital Maldives program, efforts are underway to equip young people with the skills needed for the digital economy, while ensuring equal access to these opportunities for women who are the backbone of the society.
We are building a digital economy that is inclusive, innovative, affordable, and sustainable. Through e-governance, we aim to make public services more efficient and transparent, and we remain committed to creating a digital society that upholds our values, protects our culture, and promotes social equity.
President Moise further disclosed the role of digitalization in tackling environmental challenges, noting that technologies such as early warning systems are helping to build a more sustainable and resilient future. While recognizing the vast opportunities that come with digitalization, the President also noted the complexities it introduces and called for global cooperation to overcome these challenges. He acknowledged that the Maldives faces financial constraints but announced a solution. He said that one of the major hurdles is a lack of capital, which is why he spearheaded the establishment of the Maldives Development Bank. This institution will focus on financing projects that support digital innovation, sustainability, and both economic and social development. He concluded by expressing confidence in the Maldives' future.
Foreign Minister Musa Zamir says that the challenges of making PayPal services available in the Maldives will be solved with the assistance of the United States. He made the remarks during the ceremony held to mark the one-year anniversary of the establishment of the U.S. Embassy in the Maldives.
Speaking at the ceremony, Minister Zamir noted that the introduction of PayPal will benefit the economy as part of the growing relationship between Maldives and the United States. Noting that the Maldives is a small market, Minister Zamir stated that the U.S. will aid the country in overcoming the challenges faced due to this. Additionally, the minister highlighted the improvements in strengthening the relationship between Maldives and the United States in recent years. As such, he noted that the U.S. and Maldives held talks on the Third Trade and Investment Framework Agreement last July. He also requested to make visa arrangements more convenient for Maldivians traveling to the U.S.
As we reflect on the achievements of the past year, it is equally important to look forward to opportunities lie ahead. One of the most promising opportunities on the horizon is the introduction of PayPal service to the Maldives, a key pledge of President Dr. Moise. Economic Minister, my colleague, Minister Said, has been working tirelessly to bring this initiative to fruition.
Taking the podium at the event, the U.S. Ambassador to Maldives, Hugo Yon, noted that the relationship between the United States and Maldives is based on democracy, freedom and sovereignty, as well as sustainable economy and increasing resilience to climate change. In his remarks, the ambassador highlighted the importance of further strengthening the relationship between the people of the two countries.
We in the United States very much support Maldives' desire to strengthen and protect its sovereignty in all fields, and at the same time to be a friend to all nations, especially when it comes to the use of those critical sea lanes that pass through Maldives' vast ocean territory. We all rely on those sea lanes, as does the global economy. So thank you.
Speaking to PSMNEWS after the ceremony, Ambassador Hugo Yon noted that the maritime area of Maldives is an important area for world trade and stated that it is important for the two countries to work together in this regard as well.
Well, for one, we need this embassy to be a platform to really increase people-to-people ties. Right? Maldives is critically important, right? As a democracy, as an island nation, as a place that the big ocean territory covers these sea lanes that the whole world relies on, right? So if you want to benefit the world, you got to have people-to-people working together. So we have to just expand those touch points.
The Maldives and the United States established relations in 1965. Since then, the two countries have worked to strengthen relations at various levels. As part of these efforts, the first U.S. ambassador to the Maldives was appointed in September 2023, following the establishment of a U.S. embassy in the country.
The government confirms that efforts to implement a ban on Israeli passports in the Maldives will be accelerated during the upcoming parliamentary term.
Speaking at a press conference, Chief spokesperson at the President's office, Hina Walid, revealed that Maldives is a country which advocates for the independence and sovereignty of Palestine. She emphasized that President Dr. Mohamed Moise has been calling for the independence of Palestine on various platforms, reiterating that the Maldives' stand on the Israeli-Palestine conflict remains unchanged. Furthermore, he has stated that funds raised from the telethon, held under the recommendation of the government, has been deposited to the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestinian Refugees (UNRWA) account. Additionally, she noted that the Maldives' first shipment of canned fish to Palestine is planned for September 15. The shipment, consisting of 7,800 cases, is expected to reach Palestinians within 40 days with the assistance of the Egyptian Red Crescent and the Palestine Red Crescent Society. The proposed legislation to ban Israeli passports from entering the Maldives is currently under review by the Parliament's Committee on National Security Services. Attorney General Ahmad Usham indicated that the bill, which aims to impose a comprehensive ban, is undergoing further amendments at a committee level.
Maldives and Malaysia signed a Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) to strengthen cooperation in higher education between the Maldives and Malaysia. The MOU was signed by the Minister of Higher Education, Labour and Skills Development, Dr. Maria Maria, and the Chief Executive Officer CEO of Education, Malaysia Global Services (EMGS), Novi Tajuddin.
Under the agreement, 561 scholarships in 6 fields will be awarded to Maldivian students to study in selected Malaysian institutions, providing them with financial support to achieve their educational goals. As such, students studying in Malaysian universities will be awarded a remarkable discount of 70% from their course fees. Speaking at the signing ceremony, Minister Dr. Maria stated that these opportunities presented to students will give them a golden opportunity to complete courses from globally recognized universities. Highlighting that this was also an opportunity to develop human resources in significant fields required for the Maldives, the minister reiterated the government's overachieving goal of founding a generation which will support the nation's development. Meanwhile, the CEO of EMGS assured that the Malaysian authorities will ensure convenient arrangements for students to secure their visas and will also provide the course fees. He stated that efforts will be made to strengthen the bilateral ties between the two countries in the educational field and provide more opportunities. Malaysia is one of the top countries in which Maldivian students go to seek education, with approximately 1,700 students studying in various Malaysian universities. The Ministry of Higher Education, Labour and Skill Development revealed that students currently seeking education and those planning to obtain education in Malaysia through loans can also benefit from this opportunity.
The Ministry of Finance announces that President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu's decision to regulate medicine prices will help alleviate budgetary pressures. The President revealed that he has instructed relevant authorities to implement stringent measures to prevent excessive profits in the sale of medicines. Although the details of these measures are yet to be disclosed, the President pointed out that some medical drugs are currently sold at profits ranging between 200% and 2,000%. He emphasized that these reforms will help reduce Asanda's expenditure on medicines, which constitutes a large portion of the healthcare budget. In an interview with PSMNEWS, Deputy Minister of Finance Ahmad Saeed stated that this initiative will significantly reduce government spending. He highlighted that out of the $149.7 million allocated to Asanda, $104 million was spent solely on medicines. President Muizzu's decision has been well received by the public, with many expressing their support for making medicines more affordable. The public has voiced that this is a much-needed change they have long anticipated. The Ministry of Finance announces that technical groundwork needed to improve the financial situation of the Maldives has been completed, with necessary measures ready for implementation. This statement follows Modi's recent downgrade of the country's credit rating from CAA1 to CAA2, driven by concerns over foreign exchange shortages, rising commodity prices, fiscal challenges, and delays in financial reforms. In response to Modi's report, the ministry assured that efforts to stabilize the nation's finances are underway with support from international financial institutions. The ministry emphasized that the government's financial reform initiatives prioritize poverty eradication and the improvement of living standards. As part of these reforms, measures are being taken to strengthen state-owned enterprises, SOEs, to reduce their financial burden on the state. Additionally, the ministry outlined its strategy, which includes securing financial assistance from allied nations and international organizations while maintaining positive relationships with investors. The ministry also highlighted the critical role of the tourism sector in boosting the economy and improving the country's financial outlook. The government expressed confidence that a combination of fiscal responsibility and economic growth will ease debt repayment pressures. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu awards the Top Achievers Awards to 441 students who excelled in their secondary and higher secondary examinations.
The President attended all 3 sessions of the ceremony, morning, afternoon and evening, demonstrating the administration's commitment to advancing the education sector. President Muizzu's participation in all sessions underscores the government's focus on nurturing a generation of capable youth who will lead the nation towards prosperity. During the event, the President presented awards to students who achieved top global ranks in higher education examinations and the prestigious National Top 10. A total of 18 students secured the top global rank in various exams, while 12 students ranked first in the National Top 10 for A-levels. Additionally, 27 students received the A-level Certificate of Excellence. In the O-level category, 25 students earned top global ranks and 23 students secured first place in the National Top 10. Other students in the top 10 rankings were presented with awards by ministers, with 376 students who completed A-levels in 2023 and 2024 receiving National Top 10 recognition. In his speech at the ceremony, Minister of Education Dr. Ismail Shafiu highlighted the need to prioritize primary education. He noted that the government's expenditure on primary grades was significantly lower than on secondary education, emphasizing the importance of strengthening primary education to ensure better results in O-levels and A-level examinations. In the academic year 2022 to 2023, over 7,000 students completed O-levels, while 2,800 students graduated with A-levels.
Ministry of Economic Development and Trade of the Maldives announces the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding MOU with the People's Bank of China PBOC to establish a framework for current account transactions and direct investments in their respective currencies.
The agreement between the Ministry of Economic Development and Trade of the Maldives and the People's Bank of China PBOC aims to facilitate smoother and more efficient trade and investment relations between the Maldives and China by promoting the settlement of transactions in local currencies. The step is expected to enhance convenience for traders and increase cross-border investments between the two nations. The MOU follows the state visit of President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu to China in January this year, where he met with President Xi Jinping to discuss strengthening the comprehensive strategic partnership between the two nations. Their discussions highlighted a mutual commitment to deepening economic cooperation. China is one of the Maldives' largest trade partners, with bilateral trade exceeding $700 million, and the top source of tourists to the Maldives stands to benefit significantly from this agreement. The MOU aligns with President Dr. Muizzu's vision of enhancing economic openness and fortifying trade relations with key international partners. The signing of this MOU represents a major milestone in bolstering economic ties and fostering increased trade and investment flows between the Maldives and China.
State Trading Organization STO docks the second bunkering vessel, Marine Bella, near Kurudufushi city, indicating the Maldives' preparedness to launch bunkering services.
Aiming to launch bunkering services, STO brought 2 oil tankers with the capacity of 4,000 tons. The first tanker, Marine Angel, docked in Kurudufushi city on September 9th. Bunkering services will first be launched in Ihevandipolu atoll. Bunkering services involve supplying fuel to marine ships and vessels. The establishment of such services in commonly traveled maritime areas will attract boats to stop and refuel, making it a profitable venture. The Maldives has a strategic geographical location as it is situated near 2 major shipping channels where bunkering services are relatively high in demand. The country also has the advantage of having calm seas and shallow waters, facilitating convenient bunkering for ships of various sizes. Maldives will be providing bunkering services in collaboration with a multinational energy and commodity trading company, Vitol Bunkers, a company which specializes in providing energy solutions to the maritime sector. Vitol Bunkers recognizes the Maldives as a key global bunkering destination, positioning the country prominently on the world bunkers map. While the country currently has a gross domestic product (GDP) of $6.5 billion, the government projects that the new bunkering service will generate an additional $400 million, creating a new industry valued at $390 million. The government is exerting several efforts to launch offshore bunkering services in the Maldives. Efforts are underway to establish the necessary resources and recruit employees to provide the services. The office building for this service is situated in Uligang, Halif Atoll. Maldives Ports Limited MPL stated that the building will be inaugurated one day prior to the official launch of bunkering services. Furthermore, the government aims to reclaim the land in nearby surroundings and expand the international bunkering operations in the near future. This expansion is expected to significantly boost state revenue and create numerous job opportunities within a competitive sector.
And that's a wrap for this week's 168 Hours. Thank you for tuning in to PSM News. We'll be back next week with more updates on the most important events and developments. Have a great week ahead.